Hey everyone, welcome back to the Language Arts Gallery. If it's your first time watching my channel, please click like, subscribe, and comment on the video. And today we're going to be talking about planning an academic writing course. And I offer a resource in Teach Pay Teachers that actually provides an entire semester of academic writing curriculum. So I'm going to go over how this product can apply to your planning, and even if you're interested in structuring your own course, some things that you can think about as you're planning that course. So first of all, a big advantage to my product and what I offer is that the pacing is essentially done for you. It's 30 lessons, and that can be broken down into 2 lessons per week for a 15-week semester. So if you're teaching high school, you've obviously got a little bit more time, a little bit more flexibility, so you can stretch this out a little bit. 2 things that this course is based on, and 2 things you might want to think about when you're planning your own academic writing course. The first is rhetoric. Rhetoric is the basis of argument. And this is something that I go over in my first lesson with my students. I do an introduction to academic writing, and we talk about the importance of having a thesis statement and supporting that thesis with body paragraphs, each with the main idea and supporting details. The second is process writing. This is especially important if you're dealing with ESOL students, or if you're teaching at a university and you're teaching international students. Process writing is not something that's observed. It's not a process that's observed in every culture. And even here in the United States, a lot of our students, they write, and then once they finish, they think they're done. So we need to introduce them to the process of brainstorming, drafting, revising, editing. Peer editing plays a huge role in the materials that I create. I think it's really important to get students involved in the peer revision process. And then finally, publishing. So I'm going to walk you through the different genres that I cover in my academic writing course. So as I mentioned, the first lesson, I do an introduction to academic writing, where we really focus on rhetoric. The second lesson is an introduction to process writing. So we take that same essay that we went over in the first lesson, and we break it down, and we talk about how we got there. So we kind of work backwards. We talk about how we brainstormed, how we drafted, then how we revised and edited, and finally, how we got to that published product. And we're going to take both of those ideas, this idea that academic writing is based on argument, and the idea that we have to work through the writing process, and we're going to apply that to each of the genres that we cover in this course. So the first is the process essay. The process essay is also known as the how-to essay. So this is something that a lot of teachers say, well, I'm just teaching my kid to describe a process. I'm not teaching them anything that has to do with argument. How do I even teach kids to include a thesis statement in a process essay? But this is a form of academic writing, and it needs to have a thesis statement. And the thesis statement is really simple. It's that if you're trying to do this, whatever it is, so if your student's writing about how to cook blueberry pancakes, they might describe the steps in the process. And their thesis is going to be, if you want to cook great blueberry pancakes, it's important to follow this process. So the next essay that they're going to cover is really simple. It's the opinion essay. And in their first lesson, their introduction to academic writing, they actually covered an opinion essay. So the opinion essay is simply the students are going to state their opinion, and then they're going to think of 3 things. I always tell my kids, academic writing, or the academic essay, is often referred to as the 1-3-1 essay. You've got your 1 paragraph for an introduction, you've got your 3 body paragraphs in support of that thesis, and then you've got your conclusion. So think of 3 things that support your opinion. Each of those things gets its own body paragraph, and for each paragraph, we're going to come up with some supporting details. And of course, this is a great essay to also introduce students to some other aspects of the academic essay. For example, engaging the reader, having a roadmap, telling your reader, what are you going to tell them? I always tell my kids, tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. So it's a great opportunity to use this genre to teach some of those things to our kids. After that, we're going to go over the cause and effect essay. And I've got a video that goes over the cause and effect essay in a bit more detail. But basically what we're going to do, there are a couple of approaches to the cause and effect essay. We can have a 5-paragraph essay that focuses on causes of something, or a 5-paragraph essay that focuses on the effects of something. So if you're focusing on the causes, your thesis statement might be global warming is caused by these 3 things. And then you're going to have 3 body paragraphs that talk about each one of those things. And in each body paragraph, you're going to go into a bit more detail. And again, as we go through each genre, we want kids to understand what's consistent about academic writing across all of these genres. So the things that you talked about, what is a good introduction include? That's going to be covered in the cause and effect essay. What is a good conclusion include? You're going to signal the end of your writing. You're going to restate your thesis and summarize your argument. And you're going to leave your audience with a good concluding thought. Another important genre that I spend the most time talking about is the comparative essay. The reason I spend so much time talking about the comparative essay is because I talk about 2 distinct approaches to the comparative essay, the block method and the point-by-point method. And when I'm talking about the block method, I talk about 2 distinct approaches to the block method. So I usually spend at least 2 weeks going over that with my students. If you want to know more about both approaches to the comparative essay, I have videos that go into more detail on that genre on the channel as well. Then you're going to go to the problem and solution essay. The problem and solution essay, also I have videos on this that go into this genre in a bit more detail, but it's very similar to a cause and effect essay because we are in some ways dealing with a problem and what's caused that problem, but we're focusing on a solution to that problem. And this genre is a little bit special because students for the first time start to deal with issues that may be controversial. So this is where they really start to develop as writers and begin to develop a sense of identity as writers, because they've got to think about who their audience is, what their audience might be feeling, who they're writing for, and also who they are as a writer and how they feel. And they've got to create a thesis that says their solution to a problem is a good one and that the audience should act on it. Then we're going to go to an argumentative essay. Argumentative writing is very often referred to as persuasive writing. Now, argumentative and the opinion essay, argumentative essay and the opinion essay are very similar. There is a big difference. I always tell my students, the opinion essay is about the writer. The argumentative essay is about the audience. Because when you're writing an opinion essay, you're simply trying to get the audience to understand that you have an opinion and your opinion's valid. It's a good one. In the argumentative essay, yes, you're stating an opinion. Yes, you're arguing your opinion. But the thing that makes the argumentative essay special is that you've got a call to action. And that's in your conclusion. You've stated your opinion. You've argued in the body of the essay. You've presented reasons that support your opinion. Now it's time for your audience to act. You should have done a good job convincing them, so you want them to act on what it is that you've suggested. The second to last genre that we're going to cover is the research report. This is really, really important. I think kids, even as young as 2nd grade, I've had 2nd grade students when I taught elementary school where I would have them write research reports. But of course, they were very simple. As kids get into college and hopefully get into grad school, they're going to have to learn how to do research. They're going to learn about issues like citing sources, plagiarism. And I go over all of that in the research report genre. So it is a piece of informational writing. You are arguing something, but we do cover some of those nuances that make the research report a really special genre of writing. And finally, very, very important, the last genre that we cover is standardized essay testing, which I suppose is not really a genre of writing, but it is really its own world when it comes to writing and to writing good essays. So we've talked so much about the writing process, and this is why I saved this till the last part of the course, is because now you actually have to get these kids to break away from process writing, because they're writing under time conditions and they're not going to have the time to brainstorm, draft, revise, edit, redraft. And you have to make that clear to your students that, okay, we're only going to be writing one genre, or we're only going to be writing one draft in this genre. So we're going to need to take some time to plan carefully, but we need to get to writing. So time management plays an important part in the instruction for this genre of writing. So those are the genres that I cover in my academic writing course. Again, all of these essays are available in my product, the Complete Academic Writing course, which is available in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. So you can please visit my store for that and for more great resources. Click like, subscribe, and comment on the video if you haven't already. And I will see you again